proud to have introduced this resolution along with 145 United States representatives, both Republicans and Democrats alike. So the Iranian regime started, it's ironic, I guess, the Iranian regime started sham trials in absentia of some 104 veteran members of the Iranian resistance who are primarily based in Europe, including in France and Albania, to create a phony, all of this to create a phony legal precedent against them and then have them extradited to Iran or to justify terror plots against them and their families. So to ensure that we don't have to send our soldiers to Iran to confront the regime's terror campaign, the right policy is for us, the United States, and nations everywhere to support the uprising daughters and sons and the resistance units in Iran to bring about regime change themselves.
I am pleased to be the Chief Democrat on H.R. 100, which calls for a secular, democratic, non-nuclear Republic of Iran.
I've got it. Okay, thank you. I run my office too.
And we have 243 co-sponsors. The people in this room are aware of the crimes committed by this regime. I'm actually going to tell you one crime that you don't even know about or haven't focused on. But it is amazing to see that such a great people with such a great history have, for this short period of time of several decades, been subject to such a bad and criminal regime.
Every day this regime goes on, the threat to the safety and security of the entire region increases. And this threat will continue until the mullahs are overthrown and brought to justice for their crimes against humanity. The free world must recognize that the people of Iran want this regime gone in its entirety. To help them, the United States has to adopt two policies outlined by former Secretary of State Michael Pompeo at a meeting with Ms. Maryam Rajavi just hours before the October 7th attack occurred in the Middle East. First, the United States must put maximum pressure on the regime in Tehran. This means that it must stop offering this regime additional capital. It also means that the administration must enforce fully all of the sanctions required by U.S. law. And the United States must refrain from actively undermining the Iranian opposition. The Iranian resistance has waged this fight for years. They know what it's like to live under this oppressive dictatorship, and they deserve the support and the thanks of the people of the free world for everything they are doing to rid themselves and rid the world of their tormentors. Through our resolutions, the people of the United States express that support, but we must also back that moral support with material support if it's going to matter, and we need to do that soon.
And I just want to reaffirm my support for Madam Rajavi's 10-point plan for peace and security in Iran. I do believe that great days are ahead for the people of Iran. We all know what's happened in the last few days, and there probably will be more to come. And this is a very important time for your friends and family members in Iran. I want you to know that I and my colleagues across the aisle and on the Republican side are continuing to work to fight to bring peace and a free and stable state to the people there.
The situation in Iran has been critical for some time. And that's why many of us support the resolution to help see that Iran becomes free and democratic.
So they're reckless, even with their own symbols of history and religion. It is a reckless country. So I'm proud to stand with this group that's fighting for a free and independent Iran. It is a non-nuclear Iran that respects others and operates in a democratic fashion. So to my Iranian American friends here, thank you for being here and for your unwavering support in your fight for democracy and human rights. Iran can and should live again.
the opportunity for you to take part in today's expression of a bipartisan support not only for you, but to aim the effort at the Iranian leadership, not at the Iranian people. Thank you very much for not only showing up here, but for lending your voice and your support and your prayers for what will be a long-term effort to make sure that the world sees the Iranian leadership for what they are, and that is more than thugs.
We live in the oldest democracy in the world. What's our dream? That Iran will someday be the newest democracy in the world. That's our vision. We want a free and democratic Iran. We want a secular Iran, and we hope for a country that's nuclear-free Iran, that's at peace with its neighbors. So our vision, stand by the Iranian people, put pressure on the government, make them weak, support our allies. And in the end, someday, we'll have a free, democratic, secular, nuclear-free Iran that's at peace with its neighbors. So that's our dream. Our dream there. And our dream is, too, to one day have a friendship between our two countries.
So I applaud your struggle for freedom, your struggle for independence, your willingness to sacrifice, your willingness to give all that you've got, never giving up, knowing that if you continue in the struggle, ultimately you will rejoice in the victory. So I join with you in your efforts. I applaud the tenacity with which you continue to work and struggle and approach. And I do believe that in the end, all of us can say, free at last, free at last. Thank God Almighty, we are free at last. Thank you very much, and it's a pleasure. Thank you.